What's the best way to lose belly fat? Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Westman, and welcome to my channel where I review and debunk nutritional information online. This is a video sent to me on how to eat to lose belly fat, 3 stages, by Jeremy Ethier, who is an internet influencer, best I can tell, in the gym. And so always consider the context. If you're consuming information and you're trying to lose weight in a clinic like reverse diabetes and obesity, this might not be the type of information you'll want to learn. You'll want to learn from people who are using the approach that and getting the results that you want to achieve. But if you are someone who is at the end of your weight loss journey, this might be appropriate to listen to. If you're just starting out, this isn't quite the right focus, perhaps.
Belly fat is really easy to gain, but seems almost impossible to lose. Now you're probably aware that your diet is the key to losing fat from this area, but you likely have no idea where to start, let alone how to keep fat loss going for long enough to get rid of the most stubborn areas. Today, I'll show you step by step in 3 stages how to eat to start losing fat and how to keep that going until you successfully lost all of your belly fat and for good.
Hang on, already this doesn't look like the people that I see coming to my office. So 20%, 25% body fat is often the end of the 100 or 200 pound weight loss journey of people I see. Often people come to me and they're 50% fat as we measure them on the bioimpedance scale that's available at our office and other weight loss offices. So this would apply to the end of your weight loss journey, not to the beginning one, perhaps.
Regardless of where you are right now, you need to lose enough fat from other areas of your body before your body will start prioritizing burning off your belly fat for energy. The first stage is designed to kickstart the fat loss process and keep it going until you get to about 15% body fat. Throughout this stage, your hunger levels will be low, your risk of muscle loss will also be low, and physiologically, it will be the easiest stage to get through. The stage is actually quite simple. There's only 2 factors you need to focus on: calories and protein. Let's first talk about calories. You don't need to completely cut out carbs, sugar, or any of your favorite foods. All you need to do is create what's known as an energy deficit to start forcing your body to burn body fat for energy. You create this deficit by consuming less calories than your body burns every day. Now, to find the appropriate energy deficit for your body, take your body weight in pounds and multiply that by anywhere from 11 to 13. If you're a taller individual, younger, or more active, go with the higher end. If you're a shorter individual, older, or less active, go with the lower end. The number you get will be a rough estimate of the amount of calories you should eat every day.
So I think he's presupposing that you're in the gym, that you're exercising and expending a lot of calories that way. It's true that you need to lower the calories below what you're burning in order for your body to burn its own body fat, but it's not always easy to do it if you're eating carbohydrates. So at least in the clinical setting, when you have lots of belly fat to lose, it's just easier if you're not eating carbohydrates because the hunger goes away. So if you're trying to lose weight, you create that energy deficit. In our clinical trials, most people ended up at about 12 to 1500 calories per day automatically. These were people who were not in the gym for the most part, maybe a few, but not everyone. So this amount of calorie intake is much higher than I would expect if you were a patient coming to me trying to create an energy deficit and to lose body fat as a result of it.
But to hit your goal calorie intake, some foods are better than others. What I recommend is focusing on what's known as low calorie density foods. These are foods that, for the amount of space they take up in your stomach, will only add a relatively low amount of calories to your daily total. For example, here's what 200 calories of Oreos look like, and here's what 200 calories of cereal looks like. For the same amount of calories, you could fill your stomach with a mountain full of strawberries and carrots.
Oh, interesting. So this is based on the idea that you're only feeling full because your stomach is full. Well, no, there's a chemical fullness that occurs that, for example, if you eat a little bit of cheese, if you eat something fatty, there's a chemical signal that says I'm full. I'm full. I have a full feeling. And so you don't have to fill the stomach up. For example, these massively popular shots that people are taking to make them feel full, that's not the stomach stretching that's doing that. So the idea that you have to stretch the stomach, it was a great picture, or to fill the stomach like that, that's not the only way our hunger is reduced. Then after just a few days on a low-carb or keto diet, the hunger is gone. Not because you've eaten something, it's just because you're burning your body fat so well, the hunger is gone or greatly diminished.
There is one more factor you need to pay attention to. Although eating fewer calories than your body needs will help you lose weight, you want as much of that weight loss to be from fat rather than muscle. This is where protein comes in. You need to start eating more of it. In fact, in studies where subjects go on the same diet and lose the same amount of weight, the ones who eat more protein end up losing more fat and less muscle. As for how much protein you should aim for, a good recommendation for relatively heavier males in this stage who are at a higher body fat is to eat 1 gram per centimeter of your height. So if you're 175 centimeters tall, aim to eat around 175 grams of protein per day, with the rest of your calories coming from carbs and fats. Whereas if you're a relatively lighter individual or closer to 15% body fat, then you'll want to multiply your body weight in pounds by 0.8 and at a minimum eat that many grams of protein per day.
Yeah, so that's presupposing that you're in the gym doing a lot of exercise, you're younger. In a clinical population like mine, typically people are between 50 and 100 grams of protein a day. And he showed you using protein shakes. I'm not a big fan of those. You can get all the protein you need from real food, but I suppose if you're really trying to build muscle mass, you're in the gym, these are things that maybe you'd want to do.
This is where stage 2 comes in, which involves going from 15% down to 12% body fat. By this point, you'll be hungrier, your fat loss will slow down, and you'll be at a slightly greater risk of muscle loss. As a result, this is where most people get stuck. There's 2 things that will help you overcome this. First, you need to get more precise with your approach from stage 1. As your body loses more and more fat, your metabolism will decrease and you'll start burning fewer calories per day. This is your body's way of protecting its remaining fat stores. This means the energy deficit you used in stage 1 to get down to 15% body fat may no longer be enough to get you down to 12% body fat. To overcome this, if you haven't yet been doing so, you should start tracking your daily calorie intake and doing so more carefully. You might not think this is necessary, but research has shown the average person will think they eat about 429 less calories per day on average than they actually do. So even if just temporarily, measure out your food to see how many calories you're actually consuming and ensure you're in an energy deficit.
So basically he's saying you may need to eat fewer calories to lose the fat off your body, which is exactly the right thing to say. It's not always easy to do when you're eating carbs, but someone in this situation may not feel the same hungry or hangry feeling that someone who is affected by obesity does, or type 2 diabetes. So yeah, the energy reduction, I'm glad he went to that, because you may not really know how much you're eating, and rather than say calories, because it's a trigger food for a lot of people, I've learned to say energy reduction.
Second, this stage is when you'll want to start addressing your carb and fat intake. Take a look at this list of carbs and fats. Although healthy fats are needed in your diet, on a gram per gram basis, fats contain more than twice as many calories as carbs do. Because of this, an effective approach is to keep your protein intake high as is, but lower your daily fat intake to the lower end of what's recommended for general health. This is about 20 to 25% of your daily calorie intake. As a result, you'll now have room to introduce more carbs into your diet. These extra carbs can not only help you better manage your hunger levels, but they'll also provide you with a boost in energy to support your daily activities and performance in the gym, helping you burn more calories every day and better maintain your muscle mass. Make these 2 weeks, and if you're consistent, you'll be able to get down to around 12% body fat. This is where stage 3 comes in. This is the most difficult stage. While consistency with what we mentioned earlier will be the key to progressing through this stage, it's going to require more discipline and sacrifice. First off, not only will you very likely have to be accurately tracking your calories every day, you'll also want to ensure your daily meals are making the best use of the limited calories you have. At this point, your hunger levels will be the highest they've been. So most of your meals throughout the day will need to come from high volume foods that will help you stay full for less calories. I do have a past video I made that shows the most effective high volume food swaps to make, which I'll link at the end of this video. But this also means that you'll need to be more disciplined when it comes to social events and dining out. You don't have to eliminate it completely, but you will have to make wise choices when you're out and make sure that you plan in advance for big meals out or for alcohol, both of which can drastically increase your calorie intake without you even realizing it. Lastly, ask yourself if the sacrifices are worth it. In my opinion, for most natural lifters, a body fat of around 12 to 15% is the most sustainable physique. It's practical to maintain, you get the health benefits of being leaner, and you'll still look great, especially if you have a good amount of muscle on you and well-developed abs from training them. While getting leaner than this, yes, it's going to provide a bit more definition and cuts. It not only requires a lot more sacrifice, but for many people, that's when daily energy levels and strength will start to be negatively effective. And unlike our Built with Science member Patrick over here, who started off with a good amount of muscle, you might actually not end up liking the way you look being really lean if you haven't yet built up much muscle.
Well, remember the context, remember the source, and the idea here is that someone's already, their bodybuilder, watch this. So if you're not in that situation, you want to be careful with those recommendations. Although you didn't see any junk foods being promoted, which is again one of the commonalities of all the healthy ways of eating that I'm aware of, minimizing all of the highly sugary and ultra processed foods. So if you're trying to get started in losing weight, you don't have to really worry about this one, although the focus on energy intake is good. You can do it in a number of ways, including a low carb plan, which will not require any sort of calculation of calories. It becomes a low calorie diet automatically without having to count them for just about everyone. If you wanted to get those six-pack abs, then I'm afraid you're going to have to be in the gym, although the diet can get you close to that. There's a saying that the abs are made in the kitchen, but not those kind. And so this presupposed that you were already doing those kind of exercises. But I like his approach, and the type of exercises that he recommends are good as well. I hope that's helpful. If you like, please subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss further content. I'm putting new videos out every Wednesday and Friday. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and check out adaptyourlifeacademy.com.